Velotric Discover 2 versus Velotric Breeze 1. Today we're going to do a comparison between two popular commuter style electric bikes, and I'm just going to talk to you like a human being here, and we're going to break down the differences. Go! 10, and you can feel this one does have more torque. So super high level. Two of the things these bikes have in common is they're both step-through frames, they're both practical, beginner-friendly bikes, and they both have UL certified batteries. In general, this is going to be your more torquey bike. The Discover 2's got a little bit more torque. We'll try them on the 20% grade, see how they accelerate here in a few. The Discover 2 also has front suspension, and the Discover 2 costs a little bit more. You can see the current price of both these bikes linked below the video, and I have a coupon code down there if you do decide to buy either one of these and you want to help support the channel while getting the best price. MSRP on the Discover 2 is about $2,000. The Breeze 1 is usually about $200 cheaper. So as you can see, the Discover 2 comes with a rear rack, fenders. You know, this is like the more premium of the two bikes. They both have a torque sensor with sensor swap and Comfort Max technology. These are both super comfortable bikes to be on. The Discover 2 is probably a little more comfortable because it does have that front suspension, and there's a little bit thicker tires on the Discover 2. So let's take a closer look at these bikes, then get them out for a ride and just see, you know, practically speaking, how do they ride different? Which one is faster? Which one feels better to ride? This bike is basically completely silent. This one makes a little more noise. And really, ultimately, which is the electric bike for you to buy? Let's check it out. So high level, both these bikes look very similar. Let's dive into the details. So they are both UL certified. You can see the UL certification stamped on each of them, loud and proud. And they both have step-through frames, so it makes it really easy to get on both these bikes. It's a pretty low, wide step-through frame. And the handlebars on both of them sweep back towards the rider, making it an upright riding position. You get a throttle on the left. For both of these bikes, throttle is on the left. And you also get adjustable height handlebars on both the Breeze as well as the Discover 2, so you can adjust the height of your handlebars. And there's a lot more similarities, but let's get into some of the differences. So Discover 2 has suspension on the front. Now what this is gonna do is make your ride more comfortable, but it is gonna add a little bit of weight to the bike. As you can see on the Breeze 1, it has a rigid front fork, keeping things more lightweight and more rigid. This will make your bike a little bit more efficient. Now both of these bikes are running a 750 watts nominal power geared hub motor on the rear. The motor on the Breeze 1 is rated for 65 Newton meters of torque. Now popping on over here to the Discover 2, we can zoom in on this motor and see it is also a 750 watt nominal power motor, but this one is rated for 75 Newton meters of torque. So we should get a little bit better climbing ability on the Discover 2 compared to the Breeze 1. But Discover 2 does weigh just a bit more. According to the company website, the Discover 2 weighs 63 pounds and has a max payload capacity of 440 pounds, compared to the Breeze 1 weighing in at 48 pounds and has a max load capacity of 330 pounds. And a 15-pound weight difference on an e-bike makes a huge difference in the way it feels to ride. And here's what a 6'5" rider looks like on the large frame of the Discover 2 with the seat on maximum height, and what a 6'5" rider looks like on the Breeze 1 large frame, seat on maximum height, and the handlebars are adjusted to max on both of these bikes. I can tell the Breeze 1 is a little bit smaller. The Breeze 1 is definitely a little bit lighter. Yep, definitely a little bit lighter on the Breeze 1. Discover 2 has a bit more weight to it because it's got a bigger battery. As you can see, it's got a rear rack, fenders, and that front suspension. Now both of these bikes are available in a medium size frame. First impressions for my height, my size, Discover 2. If I had to choose one of these bikes, it'd probably be this one. It is a little more expensive though. And I don't have a problem with the weight on this bike at all. So of course you can drop the handlebars down. I have them locked in place. I put the seat on minimum height. So here's what the Discover 2 looks like. Large frame, seat on minimum height, 6'5" rider. And the Breeze 1 with the seat on minimum height. This one feels like it might be a little bit smaller. One of the things with the weight is when they get a little bit sideways, you can also tell Breeze 1 is just a little bit lighter, more easy to just kind of toss around, more suitable for a smaller, lighter rider. And before I pop the batteries off, we can see they both have rear lights. They do their lights a little bit different, and they both have turn signals, which you can hear beeping. You can turn that noise off in the menus. And they also both have a headlight. Looks like the Discover 2 headlight might be marginally brighter. Breeze 1 is stamped as 500 lumens. Discover 2 is stamped as 130 lux. But the lights are both mounted high on top of the handlebars, so you can easily get them to point exactly where you want them to. And as far as I can tell, both these bikes have the exact same display. They both have sensor swaps, so you can ride them on torque sensor, and you can easily get into the menus and swap it from torque sensor to cadence sensor, change your speed limits. You can see all this stuff in my full review of each of these bikes if you want. The displays on these Velotric bikes are absolutely fantastic. Their color, you get the same menus on the Discover 2. So you get a ton of ride modes. You get 5 levels of pedal assist, and then you also get trail mode, eco mode, boost mode, pretty much all the adjustability you could ever want on an e-bike. Of course, they both have the thumb throttle in case you don't feel like pedaling. And speaking of pedaling, you get 8 gears on both these bikes. They're both running a Shimano Altus derailleur, 8 gears on the back. Same thing on the Discover 2. And also, both of these bikes have a narrow wide chainring on the front. It's a feature that keeps the chain on the chainring. As I rotate this chain, you can see they alternate narrow to wide. That's a narrow tooth, that's a wide tooth, that's a narrow tooth, which matches up with the chain. And as mentioned in my full review of these bikes, is a very effective way to keep the chain on there. So if you are doing some off-roading or something, or hit some big bumps, your chain's not gonna fall off most likely. The tires that come on both these bikes are very similar. They are not the exact same. They're a little bit wider on the Discover 2. Another thing that adds to a little bit more comfort, a little bit more weight on the Discover 2. But you can see these tires are definitely for riding on the street on both of these bikes. Another thing both these bikes have is a through axle, meaning that axle runs through closed dropouts on the fork. For both the Discover 2 as well as the Breeze 1, this is a great feature. You can easily unscrew the axle, pop the front wheel off if you need to on either one of these bikes, but this is like the most secure, best kind of axle to have on a bike. Much better than a quick release skewer in my opinion. You also get Tektro hydraulic brakes on both the Discover 2 as well as the Breeze 1. And both of these bikes have 180 millimeter rotors on the front and the rear disc brake with Tektro calipers. Same exact Tektro caliper on the Discover 2, as well as the same exact brake rotor. As mentioned, you do get the fenders that come on the Discover 2. My Breeze doesn't have them, but you can put them on. Helps keep things a little bit more lightweight. You could also add the rear fender as well as the rack on the Breeze 1. That comes on the Discover 2, and it does have the Ebike HD mounting system, which makes it really easy to buy plug and play attachments to put on this thing. So both these bikes, UL certified battery pops right off. The key, pop it off. And a quick glance at the batteries, we can see they are both color matched to the frame. This one is a little bit bigger, so the UL certification is fantastic. The Discover 2 battery is listed as a 705 watt hours of energy battery. Each of these systems is 48 volts. We get 627 watt hours of energy on the Breeze 1. So the weight difference between these two batteries is, I don't know, maybe a pound or 2, 3, something like that. And the range on both of these bikes is listed right around 70, 75 miles. So you get a little bit bigger battery, a little bit more torque, a little bit more, well, we'll see when we ride it. A little bit more on the Discover 2, but it weighs more, a little bit lighter, easier to handle on the Breeze 1. Let's get them out in the field and see how they are to ride. All right, so we're gonna get these things out for a ride. First test here. Headlights on the back. I mean, they're both lit, bro. Yeah, I mean, I guess standing further back, really, they're mostly just kind of different. All right, so we're gonna give them both a rip up the 20% grade. I have the Discover 2 on boost mode. We'll do throttle only. I weigh 200 pounds. This is supposedly the torquier bike. I weigh 200 pounds, and so it's pulling me up throttle only. I'm not pedaling this thing at all. And yeah, right about 2 to 3 miles an hour there at the top. And we'll try the Breeze 1 on the 20% grade. Full throttle, ready, go! So it feels a little less torquey off the line, but this is the lighter bike. And yeah, on throttle only, this one's struggling just a bit more, which I can tell is actually, doesn't seem like it's gonna quite be able to do on its own. But this is the lighter bike, so your pedal strokes will have more of a meaningful impact on a bike like this since it's lighter. And also the brakes feel like they're gripping just a bit more. I think it's basically the same brakes on both bikes, but this one's lighter, so they feel stronger. So let's try and pedal both these bikes just a bit. It should have more of a meaningful impact on this one. We have it on torque sensor, boost mode, gear number 1 on the Breeze 1, and yeah, man, it's really a breeze just pedaling this bike a bit. Since it only weighs 48 pounds, when you pedal this bike, it actually makes, you know, pretty significant impact. And let's try the Discover 2 pedaling now, also boost mode, and off to the races here. So I can tell, yeah, this feels a little heavier. If the motor's not helping you on this one, you can feel, I mean, you can just feel like you're really kind of relying on the motor a lot more on this bike. Oh yeah, this one feels a little stronger, like on motor power only. Even though they are both 750 watt nominal motor e-bikes, it's so interesting hopping one bike to the other. Let's see if we can do this one more time. Oh yeah, this one feels zippy. But it just rides more like a bicycle. All right, so let's see what these things are like to ride on flat ground. But first, let's do a 0 to 20 acceleration on each of them. First impressions, yeah, getting on this one is just a little bit more like lightweight and nimble. So not pedaling at all, throttle only, 200-pound rider, ready, go. 10, 15, and 20 by basically the Bronco there. This is gonna be kind of more of a bike you're gonna wanna actually pedal. The torque sensor on this one feels real nice. You know, I've rode this bike plenty of times before, and oh yeah, we got it on the max power setting. This is a nice upright riding position on this one. Swept back handlebars. You can really feel like the lightweightness of this e-bike. This is like a good place to be on weight for an e-bike. If they get too much lighter than this, then you know, then really it's kind of almost like, what is the point of even having an e-bike at some point? So this one, I feel like this is a pretty good place to be. If you want something that rides like a bicycle, but gives you good power, and you're gonna be riding on smooth, flat ground because there is no front suspension on that one. So we'll throw the Discover 2 on boost mode, try throttle only, see where we hit 20 miles an hour on this one. I have not unlocked them yet. So boost mode starting about the same exact place, ready. So I decided to overlay the Breeze 1 on the right here so we can just run them side by side, and you can see how quickly they accelerate side by side. Go. 10, and you can feel this one does have more torque, 15, and 20 here. So we got to 20 on this one way before, like this is where we got the 20 on the Breeze 1. So if you're looking for something that's just more powerful, more torquey, you can rely on that motor to get you up to speed quicker. This one certainly has that, but you know, you have the torque sensor on both of them, and this one definitely feels more powerful for sure. So they're both 750 watt e-bikes. You just get more torque on the Discover 2, and it feels like the pedal assist modes feels a little bit more eager to give me that power, I guess you could say. And now of course you have the sensor swap on both of these. You just hold the M button. So it's on torque sensor right now. If I hold the M button while we're rolling, it'll switch it to cadence. So now it doesn't, oh yeah, it's just, as soon as you start rotating the pedals, they give you all the power when you're on max settings. But of course you have a ton of power modes. So we have it on boost mode. What if we put on Eco? Cadence sensor 5. So yeah, that makes it more gentle. The cadence sensor is kind of like your way to ride an e-bike without really having to put in a lot of your own pedaling power. Now this Discover 2 e-bike is a fantastic electric bicycle. Like, it just rides so smooth with the front suspension, and you know, it's got a little bit thicker tires. It's planted, it's not too heavy. So it still rides like a bicycle. This is a very nice bike. I really like the Discover 2. I think most people, this is like an absolute fantastic option. Considering, you know, Discover 2 is only a little bit more money than the Breeze 1. So it's like, I feel like, you know, if I was gonna choose one of these bikes, I would probably choose the Discover 2. For me personally, at a 200-pound dude who's 6'5". Let me hop back on this one, give a little compare. So, oh man, yeah, they're both nice. I think I might like the seat better on the Breeze 1, and you can really just feel, this one feels so much more like light and nimble at basically just under 50 pounds, whereas Discover 2, I forget the exact weight, what, 63? And this one just feels like a little bit less eager to like give you the torque and the power. So I feel like in general, this is gonna be, you'll be cruising at a slower speed on this one, which makes sense. I mean, it's got a slightly smaller battery on the Breeze one, so by cruising at like a slower speed, you're gonna get more range out of it. Now, I think the range claims on both of these are very, very close, within 5 miles of each other, which also checks out. Are you actually gonna get 70 miles out of it? You know, if you ride the way I ride, you might not hit that number, but I think that these both have adequate range for both these bikes. So as far as brakes feel on both these bikes, they're great. They're hydraulic disc brakes, 180 millimeter rotors, a little bit more weight on the Discover 2, so we'll give them a hard pull. And yeah, man, they feel real smooth and linear, but let's see how they compare to riding the Breeze 1. On the Breeze 1, it's a little bit lighter, so pretty much, you know, the same braking power on the Breeze 1, but a lighter weight bike, so it should feel a little more powerful on the brakes, right? That's what physics tells me. The important thing is, you know, they're both name brand hydraulic brakes with sufficient sized rotors. I've seen worse brakes put on heavier bikes. So on both of these, you get the back brake on the right side, front brake on the left side. And from about 20 here, we'll give them a full pull. Yeah. So, I mean, both these bikes stop very, very well. You do get a little bit thicker tires on the Discover 2, so maybe a little bit more traction for putting that power down. But, you know, they both feel fantastic. All right, so we're gonna lock up the Discover 2. Super easy to put through the frame, lock up, and we'll take the Breeze 1 for a little cruise through the neighborhood, and then we'll pop back and do the same on the Discover 2. So I could understand it being difficult to make up your mind, you know, which bike do you buy? The lighter one without the suspension, or a little bit heavier with the suspension and some more features? You know, I'd say if you're gonna be riding on smooth pavement at you know, slower speeds, Breeze 1 would probably be a perfect option for you. It's like, really, like the main characteristic differences is like this one just feels more light, more approachable for a beginner. I have it on boost mode, torque sensor, mode 5 right now. And then, you know, this one just gives you a little bit more power. Speaking of Velotric, there's the Summit. Is that the Summit one? Is that the Summit one?
Yeah.
How do you like it?
Dude, I love it. Yeah, I've got probably 3,000 miles on it. I love it.
Oh, wow.
It's perfect. It's perfect for the city because you can, it's got the throttle, which yours has throttle too.
Yep, yep.
So, you know, I've got an injury to my foot, so I can just cruise along with this. But I can also take it up and ride it in the mountains, which I've done.
Oh, you've taken it in Santa Monica Mountains?
Yeah,
nice.
It's not a true mountain bike, so
right.
You're not going to be doing like air and, you know, hitting ruts at 40 miles an hour.
For sure.
But it definitely handles, you know, it handles it.
That's cool. I
just carry an extra battery, so I've doubled my range.
Oh, heck yeah, man. Awesome. Yeah, I just saw you're on a Velotric, so.
Yeah, now which model is that?
This is a Breeze 1.
Dude, that's cool. That's perfect for around here.
It's perfect for like flat riding, yeah. I'd never take this out the Santa Monica Mountains, though. All right, man, take care.
Take care, buddy.
That's kind of crazy, just out for a cruise on the Velotric. So Velotrics are pretty popular. He's on the Summit 1, which is a mountain bike. As I mentioned, I would never take the Breeze 1 out in the mountains because we just don't have suspension, but you know, trade-offs for bikes, man. This is like the upright riding position. The Summit 1 is not part of this comparison, but the Summit 1, it gets you in that more, you know, mountain bike position. This is a cruiser, man. And honestly, yeah, just city cruising, this is absolutely perfect, dude. As long as you're not like a power junkie trying to, you know, hit big speeds. Oh yeah, I forgot I have a throttle on this one. I actually feel incentivized to actually pedal this one. So we're gonna unlock the top speed on this thing, give it a try. And now with the top speed unlocked. So let's go ahead and try this thing on eco mode. Yeah, this one, you can like really dial down the power a lot. So if you really wanna extend your range to maximum, go ahead, just throw it on torque sensor, eco mode. I have it on pedal assist 5, but we could bump it down to 1, and oh yeah, it makes it work for it there. So gear 8 isn't even appropriate for that, which makes sense. So you can cruise, get long range, be responsible on this thing. Then you got trail mode, boost mode. You can see all that stuff in my full review if you want. Let's do a top speed run real quick. This thing's fun to ride in boost mode, but you're not gonna get 70 miles of range putting this much power down. This bike is basically completely silent too. The geared hub motor makes pretty much no noise at all. It's a very, very silent bike. The tires don't make much noise at all either. So if you need to get on some higher speed roads, you can do that. Let's do throttle. So I unlocked the top speed on this thing completely, whether it's throttle or pedaling. Gets us up to 23, 25 on throttle only, 26. I haven't started pedaling yet, and then I can start pedaling, and yeah, it'll get us a little over that top speed of 28. I think it'll go to about 31. These brakes are so good. Definitely makes you work for it just a bit on this one, so you're gonna get some exercise on the Breeze one, but after you unlock the top speed on throttle, like it'll still throttle you. Whoa, that was a big bump right there. Throttle's pulling us at about 28.8, 29. And the gearing is perfect. With 8 gears on this one, you can easily pedal at these speeds of 30, get up to, yeah, low 30s actually. It'll keep giving you power too. And oh yeah, man. Getting a little bit of that runner's high. All right, that's enough of the Breeze one. This is a fun little nimble bike, man. I'd say for your average rider, just about, you know, anybody could get on this thing and get a good ride in safely. Now, let's see if our other bike is still there or if somebody's taken it. All right, we'll hop on it. Lock the Breeze one up. Yeah, you can immediately just tell this one's got a little more mass to it, man. Bigger battery. The subtle differences you would only be able to know riding side by side. Front suspension. Oh, this one makes a little more noise. Yeah, you can actually hear the motor on the Discover 2 makes a little bit more noise. So in general, you know, when you start talking about more power, you do generally have a little more noise along with that. So the quieter bike is the Breeze one. That's something we've learned today. And yeah, this one just feels substantially more powerful. And again, just like a little bit more weight, that suspension on the front, you can tell it makes the steering just a little bit slower, less nimble feeling. Also just the battery up there on the front too. I mean, this is like just little things you would never even notice hopping one bike to the next unless you're doing them side by side like this. But this one definitely feels a lot more eager to like just give you that juice, which personally I like. Yeah, you can feel this one's a lot more torquey. And we'll unlock the top speed on the Discover 2 as well. Both bikes are geared very well, man. I really like this Discover 2. Like for a pedaling electric bike, I really don't think there's any better option under $2,000. For me, this one feels a little more at home at higher speeds because it just, you know, it's got thicker tires, a heavier battery, it's more planted because of like a heavier weight, and you know, the suspension is gonna eat up those bumps at higher speeds if you hit some unexpected potholes. So let's give this one a top speed run as well. We're doing throttle mostly. I'm kind of just helping a bit here. Throttle only here. This one, yeah, you can feel this one just, you know, they're both 750 watts nominal, but this one you can definitely feel has just a little bit more torque. Gets us up to 30 on its own pretty easily here. Yeah, it's not really gaining any more speed on throttle only at 30, but you can still pedal. You can still pedal easily with 8 gears on this, and then yeah, it kind of cuts you off right at about 31 miles an hour. And that's pretty much all you're gonna get out of a 48 volt e-bike with a 750 watt nominal motor. Yeah, but this one just feels a little more better somehow going this fast because of the weight and the front suspension, I would say. But both bikes are great, man. It's just hard to say. I can't tell you what to get, but I hope that I'm telling you, you know, hopefully this is helping you make a decision on what you're looking for in an e-bike. I'd say if you're looking to do any sort of like off-roading, obviously this would be the choice because you have thicker tires and then also front suspension. So it's gonna eat up the bumps a lot better with this bike. So quick little final thoughts on these two bikes. You know, if you're looking for the stronger, more robust, powerful, heavier bike, Discover 2 is the ticket. If you're looking for the lighter, quieter, more nimble feeling electric bicycle, Breeze 1 is your ticket. I don't think you can go wrong with either one of these bikes. They're both great. If you do want to buy one, use that link below the video. I have the coupon code down there, and if this video has helped you make up your mind, use my link and code. It would help support these reviews, and I greatly appreciate your support. However, if these are not the kind of e-bikes you're looking for, check this video out, bro. Catch you over there.